Hi everyone, we're here for the second Totally Speedway Q&A. I'm Daniel Powell, the publisher editor of Totally Speedway, the online website. Sorry about the bit of a delay. We had to delay a few things. So meant to start at 7:30, but yeah, it's a bit after 8. But now everyone can settle in for the next hour and throw me some questions. I'm just sharing it onto my personal page, just the link. So if anyone here wants to ask me throw some questions my way, that would be great. And thanks everyone for their support in last week's episode. So it was the first just trialing new things, and the response that we got, we had over 4,000 views, and everyone's support was very much appreciated. Just sharing this now onto my personal page. Okay, so here we are. So once again, sorry for the delay, but we're all here now. So it's certainly been a busy week in the Speedway. We're coming up to the end of July, and the August, the month of money with the Knoxville Nationals. That's all coming up. We've got a number of Australians over there at the moment. We've got a first question here, Marcus Ramsey. Where's your onesie? Marcus, yes, over the last 5 days I've been battling a cold, so the onesie has been good, but I've returned to the office today, so we're back into it. So, does anyone have any other questions on Marcus's question? Ask me about the onesie. Also, apart from the sprint car racing that we've got coming up over in America, also on Saturday night they had the Street Stocks Nationals presentation evening they had at Ballarat, and I must admit, watching all the live video and all the footage that was from the night, it's a fantastic night, and really Street Stocks, they put on fantastic racing, but they've got mateship and a passion for the class, and as we all know, Speedway is built on passion, and what they've created there within a couple of years, so this is the second running of the event. It's been fantastic and really makes Street Stocks what they are. We've got, in the past, there's been a lot of presentations that haven't really been well attended across a range of classes. So with the Street Stocks, they packed the joint out. Nearly 400 people were there for this event, and everyone enjoyed themselves. There was some emotional speeches we had, and this presentation was held in Victoria, but you had drivers come from South Australia, New South Wales. We had even as far as Western Australia. So well done to the Street Stock Nationals for organising that, and getting that all organised, because it's a great thing for the sport, and everyone goes out there and races hard, but to have an actual presentation where everyone can be laid back, and so Shane Ray, so Mitchell Brown, hey mate, hope you're getting that Kyle Corn sprint car ready. So Shane Ray from Western Australia, how you going, Shane? Hey mate, where do you get your design ideas, artwork, and what program do you use to put your artwork? Well, my designer does all that, and we collaborate. So Shane, how we all put it all together, there's three of us. So the Redline Media team's Totally Speedway team is made up of the three of us. So there's myself as the business owner, then I've got a content producer in Ali, and then we've got my designer Alan, who's worked for me for over 10 years now. So he's done all the magazines, and it's mainly his brains, but both Ali and I really helping with the ideas, working with the clients. So the ideas, we try and come up with different ideas. It's really tough, especially when clients want multiple things. So when we just collaborating ideas, working with the client, trying to get as much information from them, and that's how we come up with the stuff. And it's a lot of work, but a lot of fun, and it's great to see a finished product and mostly a happy client, because like all businesses, that's what you want. But thanks, Shane, and keep up the good work. What you're doing in Western Australia with all those flyers and websites, you do a great job, and there's more people like you involved in the sport pushing it forward. So, yeah, keep it up, mate. Jeff Powell from Victoria, how you going? V8 wingless, yes or no? Well, Jeff, it all depends on where you come from. Like in America, V8 wingless are very strong, very entertaining. I've seen them firsthand and fabulous racing, but do we really need V8s wingless here in Australia? Is it really needed? Like if people want to go fast, go sprint car racing. And if you want to go and race wingless, like you never do the V6, which I understand obviously it's not for everyone, and a lot of it is people use as stepping stones, but V8 wingless I don't really see the requirement for them. So I'd say no, but if you want to race V8 wingless, go overseas like Gary Rock does it. He goes over every year and travels over to America and puts on a show and gets his normal fix. So but if you want to do that, if not, do the V6 wingless sprints. Not for everyone, totally understand that, but to get everyone, like each their own. And I think V6 wingless sprints are going good, and the numbers speak for themselves. So, I'm a no for V8 wingless, but each their own. But I don't see it gaining any traction here in Australia. Marcus Rumsey, is this the year Ian wins the 360 or Brother Kerry wins the 410 International? Well, Marcus, both of those questions, I'd say yes, both are capable. And there's no reason to say that Ian can't win the 410 one. He's been in great form, and I think Paul Jeffrey from Vortex Racing Parts earlier in the week was quoted as saying that, this could be a local win. So Brian Brown's in great form, Kerry's in strong form, Ian's in great form. So, there's no reason why Ian can't win the 360 or the 410s for that matter. So it'd be awesome to see a driver be able to do the double. It's never been done before, but stranger things have happened, especially at Knoxville. So, hopefully both Kerry and Ian can have a strong run, and cheering for Kerry to go one better than he did a couple of years ago at the Knoxville Nationals. Because how awesome would it be to have an Australian win the Knoxville Nationals? The Knoxville Nationals, the be-all and end-all of Speedway on dirt, and for that to actually, an Australian to win that, like something pretty special. And there's no reason to say why an Australian can't win it this year. And with the Knoxville Nationals, like I haven't officially checked all the nominations as yet, so they're still trickling in. Drivers leave it to the last minute, but so it'll be a fair contingent of Aussies running there. In the 410, you have obviously the Madsen drivers, Kerry and Ian. I'll have Bob Tatnall, we'll have Lyndon Jeffrey, we'll have Jamie Veal, we'll have James McFadden and a few others, and Daniel Powell. So, so I can see 1 second a minute. Yeah, well, that's true. I remember for a number of, I think 3 years in a row, Johnny Shots ran second in the Knoxville Nationals, and was famously quoted as saying, the thrill of second certainly gone away. So, Johnny Shots is proof of that, and for him. So, and Graham Lagerlow, a guy that done fantastically in his debut season on a budget in sprint cars, so well done, mate. Your question here, in the lower division classes, should they look at putting a dollar cap to stop people spending crazy amounts just to dominate? It's hard to just turn off the tap if someone's willing to buy new tyres every meeting. And it's across all classes. So no matter, I was answering this question last week when someone was saying about junior seniors, but you're always going to get people spending money to go faster, to win. So whether that's buying the latest chassis, tricking the engine up, or getting it freshened, buying new tyres, they're all going to do that. So I've seen drivers that put brand new tyres on every meeting. Like, if you can afford it, do it. But it all comes down to how much you want to win, how much you're willing to spend. So in motor racing, as we all know, Graham, you can attest to that, it's more cubic dollars a lot of the time, because there's a lot of drivers out there that have a lot of talent when it comes to driving, especially in sprint cars, but they might not have the budget to match their talent, and sadly they fall to the wayside. But if drivers are passionate enough, they want to chase their dreams and keep pushing, like a perfect example is Max Johnston. Like he ran with a lot of outlaws this morning, put it in the dash next to Johnny Shots. I ended up running the feature. I ended up 16th, I think, but he put a status up after the dash and said, "This status is for a young driver chasing their dreams." And it was just awesome to see a guy like that. Who's went over to America. We spoke about it last week. He ran the truck at Eldora and done really well. And for him to go there and open these opportunities and do well in the sprint car, like he podiumed in a 360 feature race last week. So he's done a great job, and results like what he did there is proof that it's proof if you work hard and are committed to building contacts and working hard to get sponsors, then things can be achieved. So Max Johnston, so kudos to him. So. But then Graham, in terms of answering your question, it's hard to, how do you tell someone to stop spending money? Especially if you're a tyre supplier. If a guy that's come and buying tyres off you every week, he's your favourite customer, isn't he? So you're not going to turn him away and go, no, you can't. Or as a class, you're not going to do that too. So everyone has a right to compete at whatever level they can. And some people want to be a big fish in a small pond, but others prefer to be a small fish in a big pond, and that's how they learn and grow. So, in terms of that, crazy amounts, it's always going to happen. I don't think it's going to change anytime soon, because there'll always be people out there willing to spend more money than the others. But in the end, money can't buy you talent, and that's something that a lot of drivers, can rely on. So, if you've got the talent, you can shine through, but money certainly helps. And so I'm a bit sniffly. I've just been battling the cold, so but I persisted. So I wanted to do this, especially off the momentum of last week, where we had over 4,000 views. Everyone was really encouraging about it. Some people we spoke for too long, so 2 hours was a long stint, but I thought I would find out how far I could go, sort of thing. And so we did it, but here we are back for the second, a condensed of over an hour. So we've got that. Wally Walsh, hi Dan. Hello Sean, I hope you're in a state of trouble. And ask some genuine questions, please. Maybe about your super or your brother or something like that. So, but keep the questions rolling in. So Steve Trigg, hey Triggy, hope you all well, mate. So, what do you think about making wingless have a compound rule where they have fair point, Triggy. Like with you having run successfully in wingless over the years, and your dad obviously running racing parts. So, that could be something to introduce, having a compound rule in time will just be as hard. People can buy a second-hand tyre. That's something to consider, and that's something that the AWSR, if it was put towards them, they would look at that. But in wingless, in the way I see it, the cream rise stop. Tricky, you've raced there yourself at a front running level, and it's not all about money in wingless. It's all about driver ability. And you see a guy like Luke Redpath, who runs on a small budget and hasn't raced on the mainland in wingless previously, but to go to the Australian title, run second with limited shows because he wrecked his car in the Christmas New Year period, come out, be competitive straight out of the box on home soil, no doubt about that. And then back it up the next week and ran second in the Australian title, but then back it up and hold out Joel Chadwick to win the Tasmanian title. So that's proof that it's not all about big budgets, but something about a compound rule might help. But at the end of the day, it comes down to the cream rises to the top most of the time, as you can you've seen in the past. So, so it'll be something for the AWSR to consider. So we'll look into that. But and please keep all all the questions rolling. So I really enjoy doing this, and I like answering the questions to my best ability. I certainly don't have all the answers and don't attest to, but this is something to help promote the sport, and just this is something I'm going to be running from every week now, every Wednesday, and especially during the off season, it's good, but during the season when there's plenty of action going on, and it's all about promoting the sport and just engaging with the audience, and that's what I enjoy doing, and that's what this sport enjoys, and embracing social media and this technology. Like here we are, this is going around to wherever it can go worldwide, and to be able to do this broadcast and answer people's questions, and just everyone can watch it. It's not like with 5-10 years ago when everyone was like, I need to get on TV to get exposure. No, sports doing like with social media now, you can do that. So you can actually get out there and actually promote the sport via social media. It's never been an easier way. It's a cost effective. You're not spending tens of thousands of dollars. So So with that, I've got another question here from Graham Lagerlow. Have you ever been able to find out how the country tracks are opposed to the bigger city tracks? Yeah, I've spoken. I deal with the big tracks. I deal with the country tracks too. But a lot of country tracks do very well because they condense their meetings. They're not paying big dollars for the market classes, i.e. sprint cars or late models or things like that. So they can really make a profit. And small towns, there's not a whole lot to do there. So a lot of the time in small towns, the speedway is the thing to do on a Saturday night, where you go to the city tracks, and there's so much to do here. In Sydney, for example, Valvoline Raceway, you've got Brisbane, you've got the Motorplex over in Perth, you've got Adelaide Motorsport Park. So all these different tracks, and they can. So in terms of profitability, a lot of country tracks struggle because they're just club run tracks. But then you've got the bigger tracks. A lot of them, the bigger city tracks are promoted. So that means paying wages and having hiring fees, and the advertising in a city as opposed to a regional track is much higher, much more expensive. So the country has a lot of positive things, and I love going out to the country tracks and visiting the places and getting amongst just the knockabout sort of country blokes that run the speeder and the women. There's fantastic people out there that put their heart and soul and dedicate their lives to speedway and keeping tracks alive, because if it wasn't for these volunteers and all these people, a lot of these country tracks wouldn't be around. They would simply shut. So in terms of profitability, the country tracks, they stay profitable enough to keep the gates open, and that's pretty much all you can ask, because it's a not-for-profit. A lot of these country tracks, but whatever money they do get, they put back in. So that's a good question, Graham, and thanks for finding it that way, and I hope I answered it to your satisfaction. But keep the questions coming. As I said, really enjoying this. Getting a lot of positive feedback. Anthony McLean, do you think Fox Sports or Free to Air will pick up World Series or USC in the future? Anthony, with pay-per-view now, a lot of the tracks are going down doing the pay-per-view, so it's either one or the other. I don't think the sport is big enough to be able to sustain paying for Foxtel, but then also have all free to air or having that coverage. So there was a decision made last year for World Series, for example, was the actual fact of do we go USC with the clay per view, or do we do the television, the Foxtel stuff? And they weighed up the pros and cons. With the pay-per-view, you can actually make an income, or opposed to Foxtel, apart from advertising, which you've got anyway, then it makes it, you've got to pay extra money, which gets passed on to the entry fees for the competitors. So I don't see it happening And you see that a lot, like I've got Foxtel personally, and you don't see a whole lot of motorsport on there apart from the V8 Supercars, the F1, all those marquee motorsport events. So, yeah, so it'd be good, but yeah, it makes it tough. But in saying that, when it comes to regional areas, I think TV is still very strong. When it comes to like local advertising on TV, a lot of people in the regional areas still watch a lot of TV. And yeah, so for advertising, yeah, I think it's still a goal. But in terms of having shows on there, no, I don't think so. I don't think this sport's strong enough to be able to sustain that. And we've tried it. Like, it'd be interesting to see the amount of money that's been thrown at TV across all classes over the year and the return on investment, whether that be in terms of advertisers, competitor growth. And so it'd be really interesting, and it'd be great to see if Speedway Australia could do something like that. There's also a show that started on one of the regional channels on Foxtel, Aurora. That's it, and they've got the other Speedway that's down in Victoria, and that's run by Brett Swanson and a few others there. So yeah, so hopefully that, I haven't seen it personally, but it'd be good to see what response that got. And any promotion for the sport, no matter what media it is great. So just going through these questions, Graham, you're getting a roll on now with these questions, Graham. In relation to the country tracks, is there a chance of Wagga starting up again and running sprint cars? I would love to say yes, because I'm a big fan of Wagga. I remember going there as a kid. I was there as recently to check out the track back in, I think, 2010. And it was overtaken, the fence has been taken down now, the bike club control it, and it just got left in a mess, i.e. club-wise, and that's what stopped the sprint cars. So, as much as I hate to say it, 2004 was the last time for a World Series round, the Wade Orange took there, and that's probably the last. I don't think they're going to say it. If it does get up and running, and I know there's people that are trying to get it up and running, but it's probably running regional classes, like sedan-based classes or something like that, because I couldn't see them getting the money to put in a big catch fence for the sprint. Because Wagga was an awesome track, fast, banked. It was like two drag strips and two tight corners at each end, and it brought a lot of drivers unstuck. You would get drivers flying in the main straight, and then overshooting the right rear of competitor over the fence, which I saw Kevin Condren get cleaned up. I think it was one turn in the WT Cup back in 1998. New South Wales title was Kerry Madsen won back then, but so these incidents happen. So, so I'd love to see Wagga return, but if it was, it would be as a regional track. I couldn't see sprint cars returning. Ben Griffin, what are your thoughts on the Australian titles? How many rounds do those should be run? That's a really good question, because Ben, Australian titles depends on the amount of cars. Like if you've got 100 competitors turning up to run an Australian sprint car title, like running it over 3 nights, you can justify that. Like split the field into 2, like they do with the Classic, over the Thursday or Friday night, and then run the finals on the Saturday. So that's doable, but it depends. But then I've been to past Australian titles where they tried to do that, but they only got 50 nominations, so you had 25 cars running on both nights. So it made it really hard. So I like the Australian Championship to be what it is. Like I've got this opinion where you've got a title or a championship. A championship is more running around over certain rounds, but then you've got a title. It's like a title fight where two boxers get in there and they fight, and the winner takes all. So that's why it should be known as an Australian title, as opposed to an Australian championship. A championship should be over 3 rounds, like you're saying. Should that declare, that would reward consistency, and over the years, a certain number of state titles in the past have been run over rounds. A number of I think an Australian Super Sedan Championship was run in the early 80s. over 3 rounds. So I like having it as it is, as one title winner takes all sort of thing, because you've got World Series as is, and that creates another champion, which is another highlight for teams. So it depends once again on how many nights they run, depending on how many cars you get. So sprint cars 3 nights, that's fair enough. Any other class, probably 2 nights is enough. You have a practice, then going to 2 nights of competition, I think it's more than enough. So, an Australian champion overall in the series, I can't really see it that way. So might charge Foxtel would be great. Mark, it all comes down to money. And yeah, we've got the Speedo show that's running on Aurora currently, so that's the best we can get at the moment. So let's come along good sponsors, but sponsors these days are not like before. Like I was saying it a couple of earlier today to a client that I was dealing with, and sponsors were demanding, "Oh, we want TV, TV." But now sponsors and advertisers are wanting to know about social media reach, how you can promote their brand via, 24/7 via social media channels, as opposed to TV, where TV it was like they didn't want to know you unless you had a TV package locked in. But now with social media and the benefits of that and the benefits of teaming up with individuals or tracks is now certainly grown to the fact that sponsors now say how many Facebook followers I had a client a couple of months ago say that a sponsor told him to come and see him once he got over 5,000 likes. So that's what sponsors are looking at a hell of a lot more now, as opposed to TV. TV obviously still plays a part, but it's not to the magnitude that it once did. Chris Dolmack, how good is the off-season? No stress, no bull crap, no crash, it's fine. Man, I can't wait. So exactly, it's a lonely time, the off-season. But then we watch all that sort of stuff, like footage online over in America. So in terms of that, but we miss the cars. We all thrive off the cars. We love it. It's part of the adrenaline rush of Speedway. So looking forward to September getting underway and bring it on. So Tim Ware, current New South Wales number 2, and Queensland number 2 in national affairs. Massive crowds can turn up to big sporting events all over the country week by week, but even at some capital city shape, there isn't much of a crowd. What do you think Speedway is lacking compared to other sports that may get the crowds back? Tim, that's a really interesting question. If you go to places like come the Australia Day long weekend or Australia late January, you go to Warrnambool, and that's packed out there with 10,000 plus people. You go to Kingaroy for the King's Royal over the same time in Queensland, and it's packed there. You go to reach other tracks, like you go to like a World Series round held at Bumper or something like that. There's always good crowds there. A lot of these, and you go like Farchford Speedway in Brisbane, they've got the Australian Open, they're packed. I've been there where you can't move, and that was only 2 years ago. So Speedway certainly isn't lacking its appeal. Like I'm New South Wales based, so I'm a big rugby league fan. However, some of the crowds that you see there are a joke. Where you can go to AFL down south into Victoria, and it's packed there. But as I said last week, a friend said the other day, AFL's good to watch live, where rugby league's better to watch on TV. So and TV's probably played a part in stopping the crowds from coming, but yeah, that's just the way it is, sort of thing. So in terms of what do you think Speedo's like? I think Speedo's got its own unique thing. You can watch you can go there and see action for 3 hours or 3 to 4 hours straight. And you can see all the track. So there's a lot of positives out of this sport compared to other sports. I've seen a lot of sports, and you can't. I get bored at some sports, but comes to Speedway, I never bored, regardless of the class. So Speedo's got a lot of, it relies on passion and relies on disciples, so to speak, where people like use Speedo as a religion, and that's where Speedo thrives on that. But just got to keep pushing forward and really, just keep promoting the sport. It's hard. I know not everyone's going to get along and hold hands and sing Kumbaya, but the fact that tracks need to start working with one another, because I remember being in America about 5-6 years ago, and one of the open forums that they had at the Hall of Fame in the lead up to the Knoxville Nationals, and they were doing an open forum talking to track promoters, and track promoters were talking about the fact that they need each other. So without each other, you don't have anything. So Speedway is reliant on healthy tracks around. You all need each other. You can't be knocking each other off, and you've got to work together. I know it's hard because it's a competition, but you're going to have to, or otherwise you're not going to have a sport. Track close, so you've got to work with tracks. You've got to do cross promotion. You've got to make sure you're not doubling up with classes on the same night. So making drivers choose. Your drivers are your bread and butter. Your crowd, the drivers bring the crowd. So if you don't have the cars, then that's going to hurt your crowd, because they won't come play. They'll come once, and especially if it's a regional track. If there's a regional track, everyone talks. Everyone knows everyone in small towns. So if the word gets out and your core market, local community, they're not coming because they're being burnt, because they're like, I paid $20 to get in and see 3 or 4 cars go around in each race. What a rip-off. Where you can't do that. Like, everyone talks about the prize money, like the money and all those sort of things, but it's not about that. It's about getting the cars and not burning the public. Like, yes, we know Speedo creates a lot of action, but it comes down to, looking after your core, your competitors. And then the crowds come. The crowds will bring their friends. They'll get more sponsors because there'll be more crowd. It's a whole flow-on effect. So in terms of, Speedway, to get the crowds back, I think it starts with the actual tracks themselves. So, and pushing and working together. That's a big thing. I know it's in an ideal world, we can't, as I said, you can't sit there and hold hands. It's incorporated. I understand that. I'm really honest. But at the end of the day, if we need each other, especially in certain areas. So, Anthony McLean have a question. Australian Open is always packed, but it gets too expensive to go too often. They were lucky the Australian Open at Brisbane's Archfields, but it's only once a year, so there's a reason why it's always packed, because it's a big event. So in terms of Anthony, it gets too expensive to go too often. Totally understand that, and it makes it tough. Like, I remember as a kid, my mum and dad didn't have too much, so there'd be weekends that I couldn't go this week because we simply couldn't afford it. There was a time when, I haven't told anyone this, but we used to, when I was about 12, 13, we used to park at the back of Parramatta Speedway until David Landis, who'll come and chase me for some money. And my dad used to park the cars, we couldn't afford to go in. Even though kids were free, Dad couldn't afford to go in, which is fair enough. And we got up on the back of a tray of a backhoe that was parked there. I was able to check out watching the Speedway. Only half of the Speedway because I was watching from turn 3. But turn 2, sorry. So that was, with that. But, it is, I totally understand. As I said, I'm from a modest family and doesn't, and it gets very expensive. But it's all about, I think tracks are starting to realise now less is more in terms of not packing the calendar too much and really getting that, sort of thing. Sorry, Ronnie. Can you hear me now? Is that okay? Or do you want to speak a bit more? Is that better, Ronnie? So, and Jeff Paul from Kalgoorlie in Western Australia. Obviously, you are a sedan. Yes, obviously. Who's your obvious favourite sedan driver? In terms of all time, over a long time, Granville Anderson, as in terms of a legend. In terms of the current one, it's hard to go past Jamie Oldfield. Without doubt, the most versatile driver across sedans and open wheels. So, Granville Anderson for all time, even though I wasn't involved in Speedo at the time of him been able to when he got injured. So yeah, with that. So to answer your question, Jeff, yes, we've got all-time Granville Anderson and favourite driver, Jamie Alford. Don't tell him that. Jason George, hey mate. Jason George. Hey, it's the magazine coming back. Jason, I get asked that question a little bit, not too much anymore because people with that. But I'd love to, but it's a matter of dollars and cents. Just because when I launched the magazine back in 2009, it was good then, but it was even then it was a big risk because the magazine industry was sort of on a sliding scale. So in terms of bringing it back, it's not going to happen. Just a simple dollars and cents. Like to just give you some context about it in terms of the costs. I'm looking before I make money every month is $10,000. So that I just slave to make sure I sold enough magazines, then sold enough advertising space in order to even make money to cover my costs, to cover my printer, covering my graphic designer, and that. So, with that. So, in terms of, just a dollars and cents sort of thing. So, Ronnie, I hope the sound is a lot bit better. It's not too noisy around here. And hey, Simon Landau, hope you're on well, mate. How's that noise now? Is that better? Is that gone away? Yep. All right. Let me know. Drop some comments. So I know. Yeah, with that. Last week, I managed to miss a few questions. I don't know how, but it wouldn't come up on my feed. So I've got a microphone here. Is that better? Can someone message and let me know if that's going okay? Is this better now? Sorry, just having a few technical difficulties here. So, let me know if you can't hear me okay. Hopefully, I've solved the background noise. So I'm here, I'm running. All good now, but you are not too well, mate. Yes, I'm a bit snuffly. Okay, glad that you've noticed that, Ronnie. So, so we've got that. So, bit of sniffles, but I power on, so it doesn't stop her. Being self-employed, I can't stop. So, although I've got great staff, I still need to be here to help. So, but keep the questions rolling in. I'll be here for another 20 odd minutes to half an hour. So once again, sorry about the delay. It was a bit of a delayed response from it. So but we got it all back. So keep the questions rolling in. And, I'll do my best to answer. So in terms of what you guys would like to see, like more from Totally Speedo, like I want to open it up to you guys and really, get your feedback, see what you'd like Totally Speedo to do. Would that be sharing more memes, or would that be sharing more live videos? You tell me, because Totally Speedo is only as strong as its audience, and without you, we don't have any products. So what we want is feedback from everyone about what we're doing right, what we're doing wrong. I'm the type of guy that's motivated more by criticism than praise. So do your best. But that's what I'd like to hear. As I spoke about last week, we're bringing back the top 10s. So the top 10 rankings, that was very popular. And with that, we've been finalising all that. That has taken a whole lot more work, making sure we've crossed our T's, dotted our I's, and getting all that correctly. so then we can make sure that the top 10 rankings is totally finished, totally up to date, and totally everyone's happy with it. Of course, people aren't going to be happy with some of it. Some people will miss out. So, so we've got a bit of that. Hayden Wells, do you think Jeff Paul's an underrated driver? Probably every time I've seen him, he's heard an engine race. So hopefully he can turn that around and he can get that, turn that bad luck around. But no, Jeff's a good bloke, good steer and committed for someone that's willing to drive across the Nullarbor and compete in the New South Wales title at Leighton, which he did like the season before last. He's got to be commended. Him and his brother really put in a lot of effort to travel around. They came over again this year for the Australian title at Wagania, and it's great. And we need people like that. Jeff's a top bloke, a bit of a larrikin, probably misunderstood, but and he puts in a lot of effort and he loves the sport, and so does his dad and his brothers and the whole family. So great people to have involved in the sport. Ben Griffin, thoughts? Less race meetings per season, more cars, equal stronger field, but more meetings, less cars. Racing weekend is getting harder and harder with the cost of living going up. Yeah, my thoughts, Ben, I totally agree. In terms of less meetings equals more cars, it depends. It's hard when there's tracks that rely on a wage, like a full-time, like run it as a business, where they need to run as many race meetings as they can, and sometimes that burns out competitors. But it makes it tough when you have to put it all. You've got to run week in, week out in order to make your money. So I totally understand why a number of tracks have to do it week in, week out. But as a matter of, it's just about mixing up the program. If you've got sprint cars on one week, then you've got a smaller divisions on the next one, so you make your money. You can hopefully get the crowd from the actual from the front gate with the sprint cars and get more of that. But then you could get from the lesser known classes, which a back gate sort of thing, and make your money from the back end, from the back gate sort of thing. So you have that balance of the two. So like it's getting harder and harder with the cost of living going up, etc. And if you want something bad enough, if you want to race bad enough, you'll find a way. You'll get a second job, or you will actually kick back on certain things. Save here, save there. Might not go on that overseas trip. Might not go on that family holiday. Family holiday can be a speedway trip where they go racing, and a lot of families do that. They sacrifice a lot. So it all comes down to how badly do you want to race. I totally understand the cost of living. The cost of living's been going up and up and up since forever. So it's not going to change being more and more expensive, but it all comes down to how bad you want it. But the tracks of starting to get smarter in terms of what they're scheduling and what they're scheduling at the right time. And it all comes down to trial and error. So Ben, hopefully that answers your question. Anthony McLean, shares some good old Aussie flashback moments in history. Anthony, we do a bit of that already as it is. So we have a throwback Thursday. So we do that where we show photos or things along those lines to just trigger the memories. And I really enjoy throwback Thursday because it's sharing different photos and people and what I love about that, the fact that people get to comment. And then there was a photo of a sidecar which had a wing on it. I think we shared it early last season, so around probably November last year. It actually had an actual wing over the top, and we put a photo there and went, what the? But then all the comments from people, they filled us into as in why they were actually, what the story was behind the wing on the car. So, and then they showed video footage and his family got in there. It was great. And, and just to find its history, and that's where it's great. Where sharing one photo can trigger so many memories, and different people share different memories. They make different comments. They tag certain people in there that are maybe let us know a bit about the history. So a lot of the readers or the viewers are actually filling in the blanks and telling a story via their comments. So it's really great to see. And yeah, I look forward to tomorrow's Throwback Thursday. Yeah, but keep the questions rolling. So this has been really good, because I'm all, as people know, I love open wheels and sedans, so it's good, and I'm glad that everyone's asking different questions, and I can answer them to the best of my ability. So I've got a question here from Ron Watts. Hey mate, let's just say entry-level classes are produce and street stocks. The cost for running in these divisions is prohibitive for young people to join Speedo. Do you believe that we need to address this, as SSA don't want any more classes, but I do believe we will lose support and growth if we don't. Ronnie, the SSA, Speedo Sedans Australia, have got a great model, so they've got the classes, but it all depends on where you're coming from, like what part of the state you're in, like what part of the country you're in, or which state or territory, because every state and territory has different classes. So, like for Victoria, for example, they've got numerous classes. So you've got VSC. So no matter what sedan class you want to run, you can take your car a few modifications and run in a certain class. You just got to change a few things. So that, but it makes it hard. VSC and all that, they all run different rules, different specs, and that. So to have so to actually have that two divisions is prohibitive for young people to join Speedo. In New South Wales, though, it probably makes it hard because there's not a whole lot. You've got junior sedans, and then you've got four-cylinder sedans, or you've got to go straight stocks, proddies. Like it's tough, but it is what it is. Like I don't know whether we need to introduce more classes or do we just make it more accessible for everyone? Do we have a second drivers? I don't know. I don't know all the answers. If I did know all the answers, then that would certainly help, but I don't. In terms of getting more people introduced, sort of thing, with that through a number of classes, like there's, depending on people's budget, it all comes down to what they want to run. If people are committed, wanting to run sprint cars, and they will save the money, they'll do whatever they can to run sprint cars. If they want to run a street stock, then okay. And if they want to race either RSA or SSA, then okay, they'll do it. Depending on where they're located, makes it tough. Like Western Australia's sorted, Victoria's you've got everything. South Australia's okay, Queensland's okay. They've went from running street sedans and super streets and junior street sedans to now running with the SSA model, and that's proof, like with the outstanding Australian title that they ran at Kingaroy for the street stocks. So that was great. But I can understand, Ronnie, where you're coming from a cost point of view, from Leeton and all those regional areas in New South Wales. Like it makes it tough, but yeah, it's hard to answer that question or solve it, because you've got junior sedans, and once you finish junior sedans, you don't want to. Yeah, it's a big leap, especially if mum and dad are paying the money. And as you say here, they are 20k plus cars, and not everyone's starting to look at buy houses and all that, those sort of things. So to have that cost, but yeah, the costs are expensive, but yeah, it's a tough one. And yeah, do the SSA come up with another alternative? I don't know. That'll be up to them and the powers to be in those positions in order of letting them know which way they want to go. So yeah, so we've got that. All right, so yeah, keep the questions rolling. Got another 10 or so minutes, but yeah, throw me back some more feedback. If you want me to go into a quieter area this time, I think I will. So in a shared office where you've got 2,000 different businesses, and I think we're cleaners here at the moment, so it is 9 o'clock too. So yeah, I should be out of here, but that's my fault for starting so late. So yeah, with that. But in terms of guys, yeah, throw some more questions my way, and then yeah, I'll do my best to answer them. So we've got another 10 minutes to go now. But yeah, throw anything at me speedway related, and yeah, I'll do my best to answer them. So we've got about 10 minutes to go, and then yeah, that'll be all for until next week. But what I'd like to hear from your readers, like some feedback in terms of like what's your favourite class? Why is your favourite class? Like why is your favourite class sprint cars? Why is your favourite class late ones? Why is your favourite class street stocks? Like let me know. I want to let everyone have a say and give people's feedback because I love hearing. The more I hear about people, and the feedback and getting people's feedback. And, so that, so I got Mick Pettit here, buy a Gosser for $6,000. So, okay, so Gosser is another class, and obviously that's cheaper, and that's another sedan alternative. So my understanding is Gosser is New South Wales and Victoria based, and they run a lot of they've got pretty strong numbers down there. So so that is an alternative, and you guys have got the Gosser class going down there. So that is an alternative, but whether SSA want to recognise them, I don't know. That's totally out of my jurisdiction in terms of where I can comment, because I don't know and I don't have the knowledge or the power to make comment about that. But as you say, Mick, you've got there Gosser for $6,000 starting as opposed to $20,000, especially if you're running on a budget, and that certainly makes it certainly a big difference. Hello, Phil. It's one of my best mates. That backstreet's that you. Stop it, Phil. I'm trying to have a serious conversation here. Are you going to ask me a serious speedo related question? Maybe? I don't know. But yeah. But in terms of with your questions, that's what I'm here for. I'm really enjoying this. I wish what I'm going to be doing, like as I said, I announced that I'll be reintroducing the top 10 rankings from last season over the next couple of weeks. Also, what we're going to be doing, I announced that we're doing a podcast chatting to different drivers. What I'm thinking of doing in terms of that is doing it Facebook Live like this and doing it over the phone. So if the driver is local, then I can go there, but being based in New South Wales, if I wanted to link with someone from Western Australia, then I could get them on the phone. And so let me know what legend or person that you would like me to chat with. It can be anyone, speedo, like past or present, be a promoter. I'll do my best to track them down and have a conversation and give you guys, and probably keep it to an hour. It's not going any longer than that. But it'd be great to hear what you guys would think and what you would actually like in terms of guests and getting everyone. There's no one. This is all about giving you guys entertainment firstly, but also giving you guys choice on who you want, not who I want to interview. It's about who you want. Who's the flavour of the month? Who's the driver that we'd like to speak more of? Which past driver would you like me to interview, or a promoter, a current one, a previous one? And it'd be awesome and I'm sure I'm pretty confident we'll be able to get whoever we would like within reason. Probably Australia. I don't know, Johnny Shorts or anything like that. But we could get him if he comes here and races back here in Australia. So that's I'm willing to do that. And we've got quite an audience. Like last week's one, we had over 4,000 views, and this week's one, not sure on that, but we'll wait and see. So hopefully we get somewhere close to that, and continue to grow from there. So in terms of the off season, someone mentioned the other day it's only about 9 to 10 weeks away until the season starts. So it's really exciting. I'm always enjoyed this time of the year. Everyone's getting prepped. We're at the second half of the off season now. We've got Knoxville for the sprint cars, so everyone's excited about that. That's coming in a couple of weeks. We've got a lot of Aussies over there really flying the flag. So we've got guys in sprint cars, so apart from the usual suspects like the Matt Madsen brothers, Kerry and Ian, and then we've got Brooke Tatnall, of course, Lynch and Jeffrey, Jamie Veal, Jonathan Fadden. We've got guys like Sean Zemerick from Western Australia, who's gone over there. We've got Daniel Harding over there. We've got the Keane brothers from another Western Australian outfit, Michael and Daniel. I've got Marcus Tumsley. He's over there and he's getting support from Trevor Green, so it's good to have a guy over there that's in his corner. And Marcus is going to finish. Then we also something. Congratulations to Peter Britton. We said something last week. Late last week, Peter Britton managed to become the first Australian winner of a Super Dirt Car Series round. So that was fabulous in the Dirt Modifieds. That was something historic for him to do that, and it's so awesome that we're able to get this news straight away. Like, it wasn't that long ago we had to read about it in a magazine or things like that, but now we can see live video, we can have photos within minutes of the actual racing. So well done to Peter Britton and keep flying that flag. And he's a guy that's went over there, backed himself, done everything he can achieve in V8 Dirt Modifieds here in Australia. And he's went over to America, put in the hard yards, and look what he's done, and he's achieved that success. And success doesn't come overnight. It's overnight success, 10 years in the making, as they say. So well done, Peter Britton, and keep flying the flag. And hopefully Kevin or your younger brother, your bigger brother, will join you soon, because he's certainly he's a standout here in Australia as well. So Ben Griffin, favourite class of it, I just love them, made lifelong friends. Yep, couldn't agree. That's one of my favourite classes as well, the V8 Modified. It's just the racing that they can produce sort of thing. Because there's some racing from the V8 Modifieds that it's not that exciting, but there's some racing where it overshadows sprint cars, which overshadows everything. So V8 Modified, especially with a strong fit, as I said last week, we've got a lot of Tim Morse. I heard Mike Robinson's making a return now, so to have him back, guys like that, Kevin Britton, Andrew Pizzuti, Steve Milford, Scotty Cannon, Steve Milford, all those sort of David Clark, and so it's guys like young kids like Chris Corbett that come through. So it's certainly exciting for the class. So Chris Stolberg, it would be good to hear from the drivers. They don't get too much information. Hear from the top drivers. Chris, totally agree. That's what I plan to do, as everyone would know who's been involved in Totally Speedway from the day dot would know that I've always been about promoting the entire sport, hence the name Totally Speedway. I did it in the magazine, I've done it with the website now, and I'm going to be doing it with the interviews, because there's a lot of drivers out there that people don't know anything about, and that's what I love about being in the position that I am, to promote the sport and be able to give those lesser known drivers, and just let fellow spectators or even fellow drivers know who these people, what's their story, what's their background. And that's one of the awesome things that I enjoy about being a journalist, or whatever you want to call me, or media person, is the fact that I'm able to speak to those people and just give them a voice, share their story, and they're really appreciative of that. Whether we do, like a quick 10-minute interview with a particular driver, like we do it in series, we do different interviews throughout the week during the season. So I'm really interested in doing something along those lines and giving those lesser known drivers, or a guy that's really had an actual had a really good race, or someone that people might not know about, because everyone's got a story, and it's great that through Totally Speedway I'm able to do that. And Chris, you can guarantee I'll certainly be doing that, and doing the promotion of these lesser known people, not just in sprint cars but across a range of classes. So we've got a question here from Geordie Smith. Do you think Brooke will come back over here due to losing his KMS ride and drive for someone else? I don't think, when you look at it, I don't think there are too many options available for Brooke as we know it. Like in terms of doing the whole season, but Brooke's never done the whole season anyway here in Australia. Like the last full season he would have been probably the mid to late 90s. when he had the shell cars with his dad. That was the last time he did a full season. Up until then, he's only done World Series and all the Blue Run event, and he's went back to run in America when he was scheduled, when he was contracted as one of our Outlaws drivers. So in terms of Brook being back here over summer, yeah, I can see that happening, but it's hard to tell which drive, who that will be, which team that will be with. So it'd be interesting to see what, and Brook with his determination, his talent as a driver. Although he didn't have the best run with KMS, he still didn't do that bad. He won a World Series round. He ran third in the Classic. He finished third in World Series. Yes, it was a tough season, but not. I'm sure there'll be a lot of drivers that wish they had a season like Brook did, even though it was a bad one by his own standards in the KMS team. But yeah, Brook will. I'm sure we'll see him for selected rounds of the Christmas New Year period. For maybe a World Series, he might be based here in Sydney for that, or he might just want to come over after the New Year period and do the Australian title and the Classic and things like that. But who knows? Yeah, Brooks, he's coming. He's still competitive. He's still proven force over in America. So when he comes here in Australia, he's always quick. But the competition's getting tough now, and it's getting tougher and tougher. So it's not getting any easy for him. But these young guys are getting younger and younger and faster. So it'd be interesting to see what happens to Brook. But no doubt, as I said, the other week during the Q&A session here, not the live one, but I'll bet my house on the fact that he'll be driving in some shape or form in a sprint car this coming season. Okay, guys, so yeah, I'm going to call it a night. So we're just over an hour now. So thanks for everyone for tuning in. Next week I promise to start at 7:30. I'll go to a quieter spot. I'll make sure that I'm over this cold. And yeah, and I'll see you guys next week. But if you've got any questions in the meantime, be sure to continue. You can comment on this status for as long as you like, and I can get to them next week. But yeah, if there's anything else you want to know, drop me a message during the week through my Facebook page or my personal page, Daniel Powell. And yeah, and I look forward to talking to you guys next week. So take care and see you next time.